Let me tell y'all one of the wildest true stories you've probably never heard of. It starts with a knock on the door and ends with one of the strangest murder cases Florida's ever seen. So picture this. It's a quiet Saturday morning, May 26, 1990, in Wellington, Florida. Marlene Warren is at home with her 22-year-old son and some of his friends. She's in her early 40s, super friendly, smart, and just trying to enjoy a normal morning. Her husband, Michael Warren, he's not home. He's off somewhere, supposedly handling car business. We'll get to him later. Now it's around 10:45 a.m. and someone rings the doorbell. Marlene walks over and opens the door. And what she sees? It's a clown. Full costume, orange wig, white face paint. And the clown is holding a bouquet of flowers in one hand and a couple balloons in the other. One balloon says, "You're the greatest." Marlene kinda laughs at first. Who wouldn't? It's random as hell. She actually says, "How pretty," as she reaches for the flowers. And that's when it happens. Boom! The clown pulls out a gun and shoots Marlene point blank in the face. Just one shot. Drops the flowers, drops the balloons, turns around, walks, not runs, but walks back to a white Chrysler LeBaron parked nearby, and drives off like nothing ever happened. Inside the house, her son hears the shot, comes rushing out, and finds his mother bleeding on the floor. She's rushed to the hospital, clinging to life, but she dies 2 days later. And from that moment, this peaceful neighborhood becomes the scene of a twisted real-life horror show. If you're into true crime stories that make your jaw drop, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Trust me, this story is only going to get crazier from here. Now here's where things get even weirder. The cops start asking questions, and witnesses say the shooter was definitely dressed as a clown, but no one could see the face clearly under all that makeup and the wig. But one witness says it looked like a woman. Another swears it wasn't a man's build. Police find the getaway car, a white Chrysler LeBaron, abandoned in a parking lot. It had been reported stolen from a car rental spot, owned by a company that worked closely with Michael Warren, Marlene's husband. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. See, Michael ran a used car lot and had a sketchy reputation. There were whispers about odometer fraud and stolen cars. But more importantly, the guy was having an affair with a woman named Sheila Keene. Sheila worked repos for his business. She also happened to be married at the time, but that didn't stop her and Michael from getting close. Real close. And guess what? Around the time of the murder, Sheila had been seen buying a clown costume from a local shop. And not just that, she also reportedly bought some balloons and a flower arrangement that matched the ones delivered to Marlene. If you're thinking, wait, how was she not arrested immediately? You're not alone. Cops suspected her. They suspected Michael too, but they didn't have enough to charge anyone. No fingerprints, no murder weapon, no smoking gun, other than the clown costume, and even that was circumstantial. So the case went cold. For 27 years, this case just sat there. People moved on. Michael eventually married Sheila, moved to Virginia, and opened a burger joint. Seriously. The guy married the woman suspected of murdering his wife, and they just started living a normal life like nothing ever happened. But then, fast forward to 2017, cold case detectives start digging again. This time, they've got better forensic tools, new DNA tech, and more time to re-interview old witnesses. They retest hairs and fibers found in the getaway car. Re-examine everything from the costume shop receipt to the balloons. And this time, it all points back to one person. Sheila Keene Warren. She's arrested in Virginia and charged with first-degree murder. The media goes nuts. Killer clown case cracked after nearly 30 years, and everyone thinks finally, justice for Marlene. But hold up. That trial? It dragged on for years. Delays, COVID, more delays, and then in 2023, just when folks thought the full story would come out in court, Sheila pleads guilty to second-degree murder in a deal. No trial, No testimony, and she gets 12 years. 12. With credit for time served, she could be out in just a few. Let that sink in. A woman walks up to a front door dressed as a clown, shoots another woman in the face in front of her family, and might serve less time than some people do for stealing a car. The whole thing feels like something out of a horror movie. A killer in a costume, a love triangle, a case that disappears for decades. And then, just like that, justice shows up wearing a clown wig and walks away before we even get the full truth. If this story gave you chills, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe for more wild true crime stories, and drop a comment with your thoughts. Was justice served? Or did the real story disappear behind a clown mask? Thanks for listening. Stay curious and stay safe.